Hello everyone, today I will continue playing the speedrun from 300 to 1000 on chess.com. I will explain my moves and try to explain my thought process and how I think about the game and how I find the moves that win, at least against these opponents. So my opponent is 558 rated. That's a typical beginner rating when you start playing chess, you have such a rating. So let's see how you can beat them. I have noticed that these kinds of players will give you a lot of material for free. They will give you pawns for free, they will give you even pieces for free sometimes. So he is not threatening to play d5 because I have two defenders. If he plays d5 he only has one defender, so that would be a bad move. So I just continue developing. That's all that I do. I play d4, which controls the center, controls d square and d square. I moved my bishop out. Now I'm going to move my knight out because his knight also supports d square. He wants to play this move, but now he has one and two defenders, but I also have three attackers, so he can't play this move still. It's just a fight for the center while developing the pieces. The queen check was available in the position, but I don't think this queen check does anything. This pawn is protected, he will just move his pawn and that's it. So this is just a free pawn. I told you that this was going to happen. They will give you a lot of pawns for no reason at all. They just start giving you pawns. Now he can't move his knight because it's pinned to his... that's a free knight. So he wanted to attack my bishop, but he didn't see that my bishop was attacking his piece. I take with check. I just take another piece since I'm up material. When you're up material you can trade. Let's just stop him from taking the pawn b2 and castle next move. I could have castled immediately. One pawn, it doesn't matter, I'm up a piece. But no need to lose material because he doesn't have any checks. This move is very weakening, it weakens this square. So if this knight wasn't here I wouldn't be able to play this move if he checks me here. And he probably wants to do that, he wants to check me here, but I just castled. You should be aware of that. When you move a pawn, you are weakening oftentimes your position. Every pawn move gives up the defense of a square. And this is another free pawn. I just have way more attackers than him. I'm also attacking his queen. These opponents just give me pawns away for nothing, for no reason at all. Okay, so now I have this check, queen check here, but he can play this move, and this move kind of stopped that idea. So I will just continue developing, put my knight here and put pressure on this pawn. So I'm developing all of my pieces, I'm putting all the knights and bishops in the middle, I'm putting pressure on him, I'm putting pressure on the center, I guard the central pawns, I attack his pawns and defend my pawns and so on. I hope this doesn't look complicated, because it's not. I'm just moving my pieces to the center, controlling the central squares, and that's all. And he gives me free pawns and free pieces. That's how you win in this level. There is no need for some crazy tactics. So okay, so this was a very bad move, because he now undefended his queen, and also he made his queen and rook aligned. So I can just move a knight here, a knight anywhere, and I will win either his queen or his rook. Before this wasn't possible before. So I can even win a pawn here, because this bishop is attacking. And he wins this, my knight here in the end, but I win here, and his queen is his king is in the middle, and I mean, it's all over. Before he moved this pawn, this tactic wasn't possible, because yeah, but now I just take here. This move doesn't help it. Before he moved this pawn, I couldn't make this maneuver, because now if I moved my knight now, he can move his queen, and that's all. Okay, now do I have forced checkmate? No, let's just. This was a bad move, but I didn't think through. Maybe not so much. I was explaining you this. Here, if I move the knight, he can just move the queen, and okay, everybody is happy. But now his queen and rook are aligned, so I can just take a pawn and the rook for basically 2 knights, and plus I can take another pawn and his queen stays in the middle. And okay, so let's exchange, since I'm ahead material, and now win either his rook or a knight. Okay, let's move in the rook. Put rooks on the open files. Let's invade his. I can even exchange my rook for his knight, because this is his last piece. So this is probably the fastest way to win. And then my rook takes everything. Bring your king up in the endgame. Although that's not necessary here, because this is incredible winning. Whatever I do, I will. The only way I don't win is if I stalemate him, which is exactly what he wants and what he will try to do. So this was an interesting game. He blundered the knight, he first blundered a pawn, then he blundered another pawn, then he moved the pawn which aligned his queen with his rook, which allowed me to win 2 pawns and the rook for 2 knights, and plus his king is completely in the open, in the middle of the board. Usually that exchange, 2 knights for rook and 2 pawns, it's an equal exchange, but since his king was in the center of the board and I was already up a piece, I was more than happy to make an exchange. So that's everything for this video. I hope you enjoy it. We will see you next time in the following videos.